Hello, Mark Red Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is Jones. Jeez, Wendy Jones, I apologize, from Derbyshire, England. So how are you doing today?
I'm really good. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for inviting me on the podcast.
Well, thanks for joining us. So how's everything in England today?
So it's really hot and sunny. Unbelievably, it is not
Okay.
raining. Yeah, blue skies, beautiful.
Okay. No, that sounds great. That doesn't sound even like England. That sounds more like Nebraska there with the heat and stuff. Are you from England, that area originally?
I'm from not far away. I'm from Staffordshire, which is also
Okay.
in the middle. So Derbyshire's in the middle of England, and Staffordshire is also in the middle. So it's all part of the Midlands region. So I'm from a little town called Rugeley
Okay.
originally. But now I live
Okay.
in a little
Cool.
village in Derbyshire, which is a bit more hilly. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Okay.
green,
Cool.
hilly. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So what do you do there to make a difference? What do you do exactly?
Okay, so now I am a copywriter. So that basically means that
Okay.
I work with companies and entrepreneurs to give them the words that they need to be able to promote their businesses and the services that they offer. So that's what I do at the moment. I haven't always done that. So
Okay.
um, for many, many years,
Mm-hmm.
I worked in the corporate environment, and for 12
Oh,
years
really? Okay.
before I quit, before I moved to copywriting, I worked in telecommunications industry. So yeah, I worked
Wow.
for
Okay.
companies that did business to business telecommunications, so big phone systems. So that's what I did for 12 years.
Nice.
Um,
Okay. So, so what got you? What was the impetus to change to copywriting then?
okay, so I lived in France for quite a number of years, and I came back and I needed a job. So I ended up working in telecoms,
Okay.
and I stayed there for a long time. My daughter was small, like quite small. She was like 7, 8 when we came back, and I carried on
Uh-huh.
working in that to make sure to put her, make sure she went through school and do all those things. And
Sure.
then when she got to the age where she went to university, I thought, now I would like to do
Okay.
something different. I kind of got a bit tired of
Right. Right. Uh-huh.
working for the man, as they say, like working for
Yeah,
um
I know what you mean. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So I got a bit tired of
Yep.
that, and thought, I can do something for myself. I can work for myself now. So I need to be brave, really, because it's a big difference, from going for having everything, paid holidays and, all the things that you get with a full-time job
Yeah.
to working for yourself. It's very different.
Yeah.
Um,
So was it? Did that intimidate you to
yeah,
to
well,
to go
yeah, I
from
think
make
so.
that jump?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd wanted to do it for quite a number of years. I'd thought about it, and I'd had it in my mind, and I'd had different ideas of what I would do, and I was never really brave enough to think I can do this, and I can make, the same money that I could make. I wasn't sure of myself that I could do it. But, as the years
I can
go on and
understand
you kind
that.
of save money, don't you? You put a little bit by and you save money and your position gets
Yep.
better. You kind of run out of excuses, Mark, I'll be honest. You
You do.
can't,
Eventually, you do. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yep.
do. And you go, well, hold on a minute, I've earned a bit of money and I've saved a bit of money at the back, and I've got my house and I've got everything, my car, and I've got everything I need, really. So
Yep.
yeah, now's the time. If I'm going to do it, now needs to be the time. And that was a couple of years
Amen.
ago now.
Yep.
And, I'm still here and I'm still, I still have
Oh
food in
yeah.
the
Yep.
cupboards and, gas in the tank
Which is
and
always
food in
good.
the
Yeah.
cupboard.
Yeah.
And, and
Right.
it's all right. It's not the easiest
It
choice in the
is.
world. And I
No,
don't think
no.
I
Eh,
wanted it to be, because I think
No,
easy
no,
is
I hear
kind
you
of
on
like
that too.
coasting, isn't it? Yeah. So I,
Yeah.
I and
Yep.
I was bored of coasting. I was like, oh, I'm so bored right now in the corporate job. Um, so I'm definitely not bored. I would say that.
I bet not. Yeah, no, I bet not. And when
Yeah.
you make that jump, it always your mind always kind of says, oh, goes worse than it probably is when you eventually do it. We always kind of think the worst before we start on something that we don't know. And but no, I bet you're not. So why was it copywriting? Did you like to write beforehand or?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've always loved to write, and even with my daughter, I used to make up stories with her and stuff. And yeah, I've
Oh,
always
that's
been a
cool.
writer in some guise or another. So in my last job, I was the person that did all the writing. They were always like, "Oh, something needs writing, or we need processes, or we need anything." It was always me that did it. So yeah, and I've
Okay.
always had this burning ambition to write a novel, always in the back of my
Oh
mind,
yeah.
thinking
So,
I would love to write a novel, and I do actually have the bones of a novel hanging around. I do have that.
oh,
It's
do you?
sitting there.
Cool. Okay. I was,
Yeah, yeah. I have the characters, I have kind of the plot line, I have some of the chapters. It's all kind of sitting there, but you kind of
very nice.
need to do these things
So
in steps and stages, don't you? And
you
I
do.
came across copywriting by chance. I didn't know much about it at all. And it kind of jumped up and hit me one morning in a Facebook ad. Be a copywriter. You can work from wherever you
Okay.
want to. You can
Uh-huh.
you can have this freedom. You
Right.
can earn
Exactly.
money. Da, 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 da. And I
Yep.
thought, oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I could do that. And I started to explore it more. And I
Uh-huh.
thought, well, it kind of fits together because if I can write for other people and I can get that into
Right.
business that will, help people, will kind of satisfy that side of what I wanted to do because I've always
Sure.
been
Yes.
somebody that can make things happen and help things happen. I worked a lot in operations and, bosses would come to me and say, we need to
Okay.
make this
Okay.
happen. Can you work out how to do it? And I would do that. And I thought, well, working with
You were
other
the person.
people, with
Okay.
companies, but with writing and working out how you do that, how you market what they have to offer, how you show the world why they're different, why they're better, why you should work with them. That's quite a nice thing to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of storytelling
I
and
would
that
think
kind of
so.
thing involved in it as well.
Which
So
is
it's
always
lovely.
good. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, and it's fun.
So,
I think for
okay,
me
with
it's fun.
storytelling, yeah, I would think so too. I mean, especially with storytelling. So, do you do speaking then too? You said storytelling. Are
I
you on
mean, more
stage or
so,
do you do any speaking?
oh, well, I mean, I have been. Well, I have been. That's not really to do with
Yeah, that's
copywriting,
good.
but no, I have been. I have been. I do all,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I do all sorts of things.
Okay,
Thought you'd be going off
awesome.
on tangents here, but in storytelling, basically, is in
Oh,
copywriting. It basically means that
right.
we all love a good story, don't we? I think we all,
We do.
from
Yes, definitely.
children right through to, all through your life, people love
True.
stories. And they like stories about people that they can
They do.
identify with. And telling stories in
They
marketing is
do.
about telling stories about people like the people that you want to attract. So it's not making up a story as
Right,
such,
right,
it's
right.
telling a story of this is what this company did and this is how this person came along and this is how they helped them. I mean, I have one client, for example, and she does bespoke travel, but in a very different way. So
Okay.
she's very she wants to help people do the things that they dream of doing with
Okay.
travel, you know. So a lot of people have those travel dreams, don't they? Well, oh, I
Nice.
would love to go to this place, I would
Oh
love to
yeah,
climb this
me.
mountain, I would love to go here, and they
Oh
don't
yeah, that's
get
me.
around to it, or you know, they're a bit scared, they're a bit overwhelmed, and she helps them do that, and down to, you know, if they need to get fit to
Wow, that
get
is so
there
cool.
or whatever it is, she will help them, and she will find the best
So
way, she
all
will find the
aspects
best
then. Okay.
people. Yeah, so
Okay.
she's amazing, you know, and she knows so much about that
Yeah.
industry. You know, she'll go out and to the actual places and try the trips and meet the people and do everything, so that she knows she's only sending
Oh, I would
people.
love what she does. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah. So
that would
she's
be so
amazing. She's
awesome.
amazing. I love her to bits. But the other thing, so the thing is with that, what you get from that is you get the clients that have that experience. So telling the
True.
story of
True.
those clients in her marketing
Yep. Yeah.
shows other
Right.
people, you know, oh, okay. So maybe it's not just the really brave people or the ones that went traveling in their 20s that can do it. Maybe I can do it as
Right.
well
Yep.
because I'm reading
Exactly.
this, you know.
Yes.
So it's that storytelling, and it's taking those experiences and putting it in the words, and showcasing that to other people that might want to
Cool.
work with her, you know. So I think
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a really nice thing to do when you work with lovely clients that provide great services. It's a joy.
Yeah.
It's a joy
That.
to do that, you know.
Amen. Yes. And
Yeah.
it is when you show that somebody, it's like, because it would be the same way. It's like if they can do it, I probably could do it too. Then, um, so okay, we were talking earlier about dream catching. I have to ask. So when you were younger, what was a dream you had when you were a child or a kid?
Travel. Oh, always travel. Always. And still
Okay.
now, I think, is because I
Okay.
I love books and I love reading. So, you know,
Uh huh.
that kind of travel in a book. I've read so many places that I would love to go.
Nice.
You know, some of them I've been lucky enough and I've been to those places. But yeah, I think anything to do with stories and mythic places. One I recently read was about Tangier. I've never been to that part of the world, and that was written in the 1950s, and it sounds amazing, like a crazy place that, you
Wow.
know, we
Okay.
should definitely
Uh
see.
huh.
Don't know
Uh
whether it'll
huh.
be the same. I would really like to, you know, go to Casablanca in
True.
the time of Humphrey
You really
Bogart or
need.
something. You know, if I could be a time
Oh
traveler as well, I
yeah.
would love that. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love that
There.
so
Oh, wouldn't that be
much.
awesome? That's for sure. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So you're kind of living your dream that you had when you were younger as a kid. Then, so that's cool because most people
yeah,
don't live their dreams. So that is. But you also said that we were kind of changing careers and doing stuff and getting people to do the things that they want to do. So how do you do
yeah.
that exactly?
I mean, for the people that I work with, I love the fact that they are encouraging um, other people to. So I work with service businesses mainly, and the
Okay. Okay.
services they provide. So that, for example, the lady that does the travel, so that, you know, that is a service that's helping somebody. Someone else, you know, I work with coaches, so people that are coaching, so they may be business
Okay.
coaches that may be helping people to get their business to where they want it. They may be productivity coach that's helping
Right. Right.
someone to be able to have more free time in their life so that they can achieve their, you know, their ambitions outside and have spend more time with their family and bringing their children up and stuff like that. So it's really, I think a lot of people they do they have great ambition to help the world and you know, make a change in the world, whether that's
Right.
one person at a time or, you know, whatever that is. But
Right. Exactly.
they can't do it on their own because there's so much to do. And I think having somebody that like
There
myself that
is.
can come in and help them and work with them to give the words that they need so that they can get their message out there. That's my bit. I think I came
So
back when I
cool.
came back to England.
Oh,
I worked through a book called "What Colour Is Your Parachute," which is an old career
oh
book
yes, I know
from,
that book. Yes.
you know, that one.
Uh-huh.
And I worked through it,
I do know that book.
and
Yes.
obviously I'm a lot different now than I was then. But when I came back, I'd kind of been living up a mountain for
Sure.
6 years, and I thought, who's going to need me? Who's going to want
Okay.
me? You know, my technology was out of date.
Right, right.
I'd been a
Yep, yep.
stay-at-home mom or working on the mountain. You know, very, very different to coming back to kind of the
Right.
UK and everything. So I did this, and the biggest thing that came out for me was that I am a communicator, so that I help people
Okay,
communicate. And
cool.
that's ironic, really, because then I ended up working in
Very important.
communications, you know,
So
and helping
perfect.
people that way. And now I'm doing it again. So it is kind of true, maybe, that the opportunities find
Yep.
you if you understand where your strengths lie. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
I do agree with that. Yeah, I do. Because I have people that quote unquote chase things, and it's just like I always like, which I try not to chase things. I sometimes find myself, but it put out to the universe who you are, what you have to offer, and usually kind of like that, the universe kind of directs the resources and people towards you. At least is what I have found. So, because everybody's like, you need to chase, and it's like I haven't found that to be the case. I just put out who I am and what I have to offer, and it's been great. It's been awesome that way. So,
Amazing.
so what are some other things you've done? I mean, yeah, with your copywriting and doing all this, and I think we talked. You did a marathon.
Well, I did, yeah. Yeah, 4 years ago now. Yeah, I did. So that was something I am, well, I have always been since I was 4 years old, asthmatic. So I wasn't very good at
Oh,
running
oh.
or sports. No, I wasn't very good at running or sports or anything like that at school. I always had a good go,
Mm-hmm.
but I was never ever
Right,
somebody that
sure.
couldn't actually run. So that was interesting for me. And I tried a few times to do it and given up really.
Uh-huh.
And then I met my partner now, and he's a runner.
Okay.
He's always run since he was, a child, and he'd done a lot of events and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And
One of those.
he said,
Okay.
well, yeah, he said you're
Uh-huh.
running too fast. He said basically you're running too fast. You need to slow down, and then when carry on and then slow down
Wow.
even more, just keep slowing down and go, really slow. And I was thinking, oh, crikey, this looks ridiculous. I'm very, very slow and, I look a bit of an
Uh-huh.
idiot and everything.
Uh-huh.
But, but I did find that I started to be able to get around and I wasn't out of breath, which was great, and I wasn't wheezing and I wasn't doing any of
Oh,
the
yeah,
things.
that would have been
And 2 miles turned into three, which turned into five, which turned into 10. And I think
awesome.
I got to 6.2 miles. I think I did a 10k run,
Nice.
and
Okay.
I was
Okay.
I was
Okay.
sitting at home one day, and we didn't live together at the time. He was like in his house and everything, and I was looking on the
Okay.
computer, and this thing flashed up, and it said, "Run the Paris Marathon." And I thought,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. And just going through my
I
head
love
was,
it.
if you're ever going to do something like that, do it in style. Why would I bother doing the marathon up the road?
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's make a big deal of it and let's do
Right. Yeah.
Paris.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah,
Do
so
it.
I
Yeah. You got to do it
phoned him.
upright. Oh.
So yeah, I phoned him and
Uh-huh.
told him that, and he was like, "What?" And yeah, I just convinced him it was a good
I bet
idea.
he did.
And yeah, we
Oh.
did it.
So. Oh my
We
gosh.
went. We raised money. There's an organisation in the UK called the Big Issue, It's a
Okay.
magazine.
Okay.
It's a magazine that comes out, weekly magazine, and it helps people who are in difficulty or who are homeless. And the magazine is sold by people who are homeless, and they get an income from it. And
Oh, really? Okay.
it's just a great charity.
Okay.
You know,
So it's
it
a
really does
win-win.
great
Okay.
things. And
Yeah. Very good.
so we ran for Big Issue, and we raised money for that, and we ran around Paris,
Awesome.
and it was wonderful, and I had a big smile on my face all the way
Yeah.
around. Can't even imagine running that far
Even
again
better.
now, but I did it.
I don't know if I can imagine that running that the first time. Oh my God.
Yeah,
So
I'd love to do it
how long
again.
did you train before that?
I think it's about
No,
I think
that
it's about six months.
I'm
Yeah, but I think
is
it's
that
about
okay?
6 months.
Okay.
6 months, a six
No.
months training program. We had it down so that we were running two times. I think we got it up so we were running 2 times 6 miles in the week, and then we would do a long run at the weekend, and
Okay.
we would build that up. You know, so you kind of like, oh well, we'll run 9 miles, and then the
Okay.
next week we'll run 10 miles, and it kind of went like that.
Just kept on. Yeah.
Roughly
Kept.
like that. You have breaks and things in
Okay.
between. But we did it
Oh,
like
sure.
that, and then
Right. Right.
I think the longest one was 23, I think, in the training run, and that was hard. Yeah, that
Wow.
was really hard. And the
Oh,
marathon itself,
I
for
would think that'd be
me,
extremely hard.
yeah, but the marathon wasn't hard, you know. It wasn't hard. It was amazing because you've got the
Really?
crowd, everyone's cheering for you, the weather was
True.
perfect, the atmosphere, you got all the
Awesome.
live music everywhere. You were running around Paris, for goodness sake, so you've got all the beautiful sights of
Which
Paris
helps a little
and
bit.
the parks and everything.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
yeah, it was just fabulous. It was like one of the best days ever, really. It was.
That is so cool. Well, and that just shows you had a. I mean, yeah, that is. I mean, I can't even imagine it. How would that would have been so awesome? So that was kind of a goal. So somebody that, like on the podcast here, that's thinking about doing a big goal like that. How did you? I mean, how did you start? How would you start if you had a big goal? How would you start to accomplish that goal?
Well, I mean, I think especially running's quite a good analogy for it because you have got to break it down. You've absolutely got to break it down
Yeah.
because obviously having the end in sight is really important. But if I was thinking every day I'm going to run, 26.2 miles, that would just, I mean,
Right.
one time I was, I lived in a little town down the road, Burton on Trent, and one time I actually thought, oh my goodness, this is further than running to Birmingham, which is a city, and it's like so far away. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to be like
Uh-huh.
further than Birmingham. How on earth am I going to do that? So thinking that,
Yep.
you can't think like that. You can't think like that. I mean, yeah, have that fleeting
True.
thought, but let it go, and then come back and
Yep.
have your plan, have your milestones. I mean, we literally had a piece of paper printed out on the wall, and then every time we did the run, we marked it off. So we're saying on
Just
Tuesday we'll do
okay.
this,
Good.
on whatever days it was. I think we ran
Right.
Tuesday and
Perfect.
Thursday and Saturday. So that's what we did, and then we tried to do other bits and
Uh-huh.
pieces like cross training,
Perfect.
swimming, or whatever in between. But those were the runs, and we ticked them
Yep.
off. And every time you did it, and then you could see where you were going, and you can see that ultimate goal. It's
We can make
great.
progress. Yeah.
You're making
Yeah.
progress
Yep.
towards it, and you're not getting discouraged or anything. I think anything that's
True.
a big thing, break it down. Just break it down into smaller chunks, and
Yeah.
just focus on that. That would be my advice.
Yeah. And I think that is a great way to do it because when, like you said, when you think of the end all the time, it's overwhelming, and you more than likely probably aren't going to do it because it is overwhelming. So okay, so another marathon in the works and coming up then in the future for you.
Oh, maybe, yeah,
Maybe.
definitely. Probably somewhere else as well. I mean, I loved Paris,
Okay,
but I am one
okay.
of those people that's like, oh, I'd have to do something different next time. So, yeah, someone said
I
to
hear
me,
you. Yes.
Edinburgh's
So,
good because it's all downhill,
okay.
but I don't know. Um, maybe
There you go.
yeah, or maybe
So,
Amsterdam because it's flat. I don't know.
yeah, you have to see what shows up there. So, so okay, with your
Excellent.
copywriting business, what do you? I mean, what do you see in the future for that? What would you like to be
Okay.
doing in 5 to 10 years with that? Or
Oh wow, that's a long goal, isn't it? So at the moment, I
yeah,
have.
yep.
It's not quite out yet, but I have written a workbook for copywriters, for new copywriters. So that is going
Okay,
to be coming out
cool,
very shortly. It's called the Copywriters Workout.
nice.
So it's to work your copywriting
Okay,
muscles. So yeah, so it's basically it's a practice book, but
sure.
it's based on like actual businesses that like businesses that you would find needing
Okay,
copywriters, and there's exercises for people because I think when you start, certainly when I started, I did a course, but then you think, oh, can I just approach customers and I've only done a course? Can I be useful, whatever?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, I
Right,
just thought I kind of had this idea that this book would be a great idea. It would have been something that I would have definitely bought if it was there when I was starting out. And some of the new
okay, okay.
copywriters that are in one of the communities I'm in have had the book and picked it apart and done what they needed to, and everybody found it really useful. So I'm very
Right,
excited about that.
awesome,
So that's going to
very
be coming
cool.
out soon. So we'll see what happens with that. With copywriting, I'm kind of
Okay,
just seeing where
cool.
it takes me, because obviously the whole
I can understand that.
um, yeah, you just see where it takes me. I'm starting to work a lot more with people, coaches and people that do course creation and that kind of thing. So I'm finding that quite exciting at the moment. Um, do I have ambitions to
Yeah.
have a great big empire? Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
I would, yeah,
I can understand that too.
I kind of would like the idea of maybe doing a bit of mentorship or something going forward, if I can,
Ah,
you know,
nice. Okay.
because I think that's somewhere that I enjoy. I've always enjoyed training people and doing that kind of thing. So maybe going forward,
Right.
that would be something, or maybe speaking. That's
Okay,
something
cool.
else. And also, I think
Yep,
probably
yep.
that came out of our conversation the other day was I have a very neglected blog called The Reluctant Achiever. So it's reluctantachiever.com.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking like that I need to maybe resurrect that, but maybe in the form of a podcast. So that would be maybe something that
Cool.
I'd like to do in the
Yeah,
future.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
And
be so cool.
apart from that, obviously there's my novel that I need to crack on with and write, and get some more
Yeah,
traveling done.
that's a few things.
So
Yeah. So where's
I've got
someplace
quite
you
a lot
haven't
of ideas.
traveled that you still you do. You really do. So what's one place you want to travel yet that you haven't?
Oh my goodness, one place, narrow it down. I mean, South America is really interesting, isn't it? I think I would love that. There's so many
Yeah.
places. I mean, I think I'm lucky because I've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
There's so many places I haven't been,
Mm-hmm.
and it just, yeah, just I don't know. Like, I had a trip to Canada booked before
Okay.
lockdown, due to happen in 2020, and that
Uh
was we were going to kayak off Vancouver
oh
Island.
yeah, kayaking. I love kayaking.
Yeah, and go
Right,
to see
yeah.
the kind of see all the wildlife and everything like that. So that is definitely
Oh
going to
that,
be a sooner rather than later to try to get back out there and do that.
yeah.
Because
Because that would be
that's
so
me.
so beautiful too.
Oh, I love just being out in nature and just, away from
Me
everything.
too.
We did a canoeing trip last year where
No.
we canoed across Scotland. So we
Oh
started
wow, that'd
off.
have been an awesome trip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We started off over near Fort William, and we canoed through the canals and across the locks and Loch Ness and all the rest of it to end up at
Oh,
Inverness.
did you? Okay.
So yeah, yeah. So that was a
Okay.
crazy trip. So that was kind of our because
Ah, I
we
love
still
that.
couldn't get out to BC at that point, and we were like, oh, let's just do something else a bit crazy. So that was amazing, but it's made me want to
Crazy's
get back
good.
out there and do it even more now. Yeah,
It
yeah,
it does. Yeah, it really does. Oh no, that I have the bug for that too. Once you
yeah,
get it, you just want to do more. That is for sure. So, okay. So
absolutely.
you said you work with people. How can people get a hold of you if they want to work or have your services?
Okay, so I have a website and it's www.wendyanjones.com and with no E, just A-double-N.
Okay.
So that's my website. On there
Okay.
is a calendar link for if they'd like to chat to me. So I offer a discovery
Okay.
call for your copywriting, but also if you'd like to, just message me and put Mark Larson or Dreamcatchers in the comments to book the call, and I'm
Right.
happy to
Uh-huh.
work with you and take a look at your copy. If you've got anything that you want me to look at and get some feedback on, I do a free 15-minute
Cool.
feedback there. It could be
Okay.
fun to chat. Yeah. So there are a couple
Oh
of
yes,
ways.
always yes.
I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, all of those places as well. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. And we'll put those links in the show notes so people can get a hold of you that
perfect.
way too, for sure. So, um, no. So, what else would you like the audience to know today that we
What
haven't
else would
shared?
I like the audience to know? So if anyone's watching this podcast, I'm guessing
Yeah.
that if they are people that want to or are considering making a change to their life to go after their dreams, because after all, it's called Dream Catchers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
I would say, yeah, don't wait. Don't wait. Make a plan.
Amen.
Do it. Just do it. Just put one foot in
Yes.
front of the other towards it.
Yep.
And, even if it's a tiny little change, you're making progress, you're going towards it. And,
It's a
don't be
start.
down on yourself. Don't be down on yourself. Just start. Just put those plans in place. As Mark says, put it out into the
Yes.
universe and it'll happen. And it
Yes.
will
Yep.
happen for you. So yeah, that's what I'd
It
like
will.
anybody to know. I mean, I've dedicated my book to anybody that's ever had a dream and decided to follow it. So it's my workbook. So probably only copywriters or aspiring copywriters will read it. But yeah, just do it. I mean, when I was
And you
when I
got
was
your.
very, very young, I was about, 20, early 20s, and I had a job then, and I was working in an office, and I went for a promotion, and my boss said, "Oh,
Uh huh.
we really like you where you are. You're so good in your job where you are now. We'd really like you to stay there."
Oh.
So I went home and I
Oh.
thought, I'm not very happy about that. So I wrote my letter of
No.
resignation. I wrote
Uh
my
huh.
letter of
Well, I can understand
resignation.
that.
I'm not saying to everybody do this, but I did. And within a week, I was on a
Hey, you
boat
took action.
traveling to Europe with a rucksack on my back that contained everything I owned. And I went
Wow.
traveling for 4 years.
That
And,
is
I still have got a house. I still
awesome.
have got a daughter. I still have got a life. I've
Yep.
still got skills. I've still got a job. So don't be scared. That's what I'm saying. Don't be scared.
Yep.
Take your baby steps and you will get
Yep.
there. You don't need to do the crazy thing, but just know that people that do crazy things are still fine. So it's all right. You don't need to worry.
They
Just do
are.
it.
Yeah. Yep, you do. You just need to take the step, even if it is scary. And that is so awesome. That was quick too.
Yeah.
But you took the. I mean, talk about taking the action and really. I mean, wow, I love that. That's a great way to end the podcast on. I mean that. Yes, just or don't do the some days, because people say the some days they'll do stuff like that, and some days don't ever come about. Just do the action, like you said, the smallest. Well, sometimes the first action is the most difficult, and no, that is so cool. So on that, unless you have anything else you want to share, we'll end the podcast on that. If you do a podcast, I would love to be a guest on your podcast sometime. If you decide to do that,
absolutely, of course,
and I would. Thank you. And I would love to have you after down the line, have maybe for a follow-up podcast on the Dreamcatcher.
Love to. Amazing. Thank you.
But no, that would be great if you would. But yeah, thanks for joining us today. You're so inspirational, especially that. I mean, you know how to take action. You're a dream catcher, that's for sure. So on that, thanks for joining us, Wendy, and look forward to maybe having you on a follow-up podcast episode. And we'll leave it at that. And have a great rest of your day. And thanks again.
Thank you so much.